Good morning, dear children. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, today we are going to learn chapter 17 of EVS, which is British Rule and the First War of Independence. Learning objectives. Students will understand the causes and the effects of the First War of Independence in 1857. How the British rose to power. What was the unrest during the British rule? So, let us begin with this chapter. India enjoyed a flourishing trade with Europe in the ancient times. Indian spices, silk, and cotton, they were very famous at that point of time. Mainly, different countries had a trade with India for spices, silk, and cotton. For a long time, most of the trade with the Europe, it was untroubled. Things began to change after a Portuguese explorer called Vasco da Gama discovered a direct sea route to India from the lowest coast of Africa. After the discovery of this new sea route, Europeans began sailing to India directly for trade. The Portuguese were the first to reach India. They were followed by Dutch and French. This led to a very tough competition and rivalry amongst all of them. But the British were the final winners after ousting the other European powers. How did British come to rule India? Initially, British came to India only for trade. But soon they realized that they need to establish their rule over India so that they could trade freely. They started building their ports and maintained armies at their trading centers. The first sign of this change was the Battle of Plassey in 1757 and the other was Battle of Buxar in 1764. The Battle of Plassey took place in 1757 and it was a victory of British over Bengal. The Battle of Buxar, which was fought in 1764, was fought in a small town of Bihar. It was also won by the Britishers. Over the next 200 years, the Britishers expanded their rule over whole India. When they came to rule India, they started making some unjust laws which made Indians very unhappy. They also used unfair means to become rich. Now, what was the discontent and who all were unhappy in India? First were the farmers. Farmers were forced to grow indigo plants and the cotton plants. The blue color which was obtained from the indigo plants, it was used for dyeing the cloth. Britishers also made the law that the farmers will sell cotton and indigo plants only to the British traders and to no one else. Britishers bought these crops at very low cost, which made farmers very poor, and the British flourished. Second, Nawabs were very unhappy. When the Britishers entered India, they took away all the powers of kings and Nawabs of India. Many unjust laws were passed by the British, like the Doctrine of Lapse. Now, what was this Doctrine of Lapse? The Doctrine of Lapse said if any ruler died without leaving a male heir, his territory would pass on to the British hands. So, this Doctrine of Lapse made Nawabs very unhappy. Now, let us study about the revolt of 1857. What were the causes? What was the impact? And what was the outcome of this revolt? The revolt of 1857. It was also known as the First War of Independence. This revolt started after months of tension among the soldiers who were told to bite off the ends of greased cartridges. Now, why the soldiers became unhappy when they were used to bite off the ends of the greased cartridges? Because the cartridges had animal fat and had to be bitten off before being loaded. This offended both the Hindus and Muslims, so they revolted. Indian soldiers who were working in the British army were also very unhappy. The Indian soldiers were humiliated as there was marked discrimination and disparity in the salary and the stations of Indian and the European soldiers. They were joined by a number of leaders from different parts of India. In Delhi, the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar was declared the Emperor of India and the leader of the revolt. The other famous leaders of this revolt were Nana Sahib, Tatya Tope from Kanpur, Liaquat Ali and Kuwar Singh from Bihar. Two brave women, Rani Lakshmi Bai and Begum Hazrat Mahal of Awadh, too fought in this struggle for freedom. The result of 1857 revolt were Rani of Jhansi gave her life in the battlefield. Bahadur Shah Zafar was imprisoned and was sent to Rangoon in Burma. It ended the rule of East India Company. The British government took complete and direct control of the administration of India. The Governor General of India was made the Viceroy. The Indian princes were permitted to rule their territories but under the British rule. The revolt of 1857 was also called the Sepoy Mutiny by the British. The seed of discontent continued to grow. The nationalist feeling born during this struggle became deeper year after year. This feeling inspired the Indians to finally succeed in overthrowing the foreign rule in 1947. Now let us have a quick recap of the chapter. The British initially came to India only for trade. They traded with India through the British East India Company, but soon they established their rule over whole of India. British rule caused discontent among the Indians. In 1857, a massive revolt broke out against the British and quickly spread among all the sections of the society. It came to be known as the First War of Indian Independence. After the revolt of 1857, the British government took over the administration of India from the East India Company. With this, we finish our chapter 17. Thank you.